this will probably be the last video that I use my little brown wave introduction for a while. But guess what? We are without a doubt up to our eyeballs in the middle of the brown wave now. And this election hasn't even been called. It's not even been decided yet, but we're seriously, we're up to here in the middle of this poo that has just bombarded us as a nation. As I said it would, as David Spurrier said it would, I was highly, highly disappointed to see that Joe Jorgensen could not even make it to 5% nationally. I really wanted to try to see that happen. I would like to have seen the Libertarians be on the ballot for good after this. Unfortunately, I believe there were a lot of people in the country who bought into the narrative, you better pick Trump or Biden. Arguably, it hit a lot of us indie YouTubers. I know a few YouTubers who I work with pretty regularly who, instead of trying to take a third-party option, wound up voting for Trump. And I'm sure there were even some who probably voted for Biden, too, that I know and just not aware that they voted for Biden. But look, what the hell is going to happen here? I'd been saying leading up to this, I was worried Joe Biden would pick off Wisconsin, Michigan, potentially Pennsylvania, and even if Trump kept Pennsylvania and Joe Biden picked off Michigan and Wisconsin, that he would win. Me and my mother-in-law had a big back and forth on that. She was of the opinion, oh, there's no way Joe Biden would win. Nope. There's no way. He's crazy. He can't put sentences together. That woman he's got as his vice president, who would vote for her? Turns out there's a lot of people who would vote for her. And I knew that. There's just this opinion that for some reason Joe Biden was not as popular as he was. Well, let me be the one to welcome you to 2020. And let me be the one to welcome you to the United States as we know it today. Thanks to pop culture, social media, television, whatever you want to blame it on, our society is a bunch of ill-informed idiots, in my opinion. Now, does that mean they're complete imbeciles who could never be smarter? Does that mean that they could never have a bright thought in their head? No. They're just highly uneducated because of whatever. They don't take politics seriously, and they don't try to inform themselves. They rely on the media to tell them everything, and guess what, folks? You get what you see out there right now as we speak. So, that being said, I've been on a roller coaster. You know, I said before the pandemic, Trump would steamroll Joe Biden. I also said don't trust the polls. If the pandemic hadn't happened, I'm still of the opinion we wouldn't even be having this right now. Trump would have won, in my opinion, okay? But the pandemic happened. And Trump wasn't going about it very smartly. He fumbled the first debate. They didn't even have a second debate. And the third one was I said then, I was like, look, no, Trump, son, you screwed yourself here. This was your chance to redeem it, and oopsie, you're dropping the ball almost every single step of the way. Turns out, now it looks like I was right. But when we got to election night last night, complete turn of events again. The map, except for a couple of states, the key one here being Arizona, the map looked damn near just like it did the last time around. The map looked like 2016. And I'm sitting there going, well, they just bullshit us again. Trump's going to pull it off. Texas was neck and neck, neck and neck, neck and neck, neck and neck, neck and neck. Well, guess what? Trump got Texas. Woo! Okay, done. He built the red wall, right? He's leaning ahead in Wisconsin. He's leaning ahead in Michigan. He took the lead in North Carolina. He took the lead in Florida. He's got the lead in Pennsylvania. And it's only at about half, right? He's only leading by about half. Or in other words, no, he's not leading by about half. Pardon me. They're only about half reporting. They're only a little over like 60 to 70%. So you can say half to 3/4 of the way done, right? Nevada's in the same boat. But then all of a sudden this morning, the mail-in ballots start flooding in, which, boom, here we go. Red mirage theory coming true. So what a few people predicted months ago, that it would look like Trump was going to win on election night, and even I myself cautioned people this might happen, fell victim to believing, because it was almost so identical to what we saw last time. I said, okay, nope. Biden hasn't picked off one damn thing here almost besides Arizona. So, guess what, boys? I think the red mirage ain't going to happen. And at this point, I feel like if it does happen, it's going to be a screw job, and they'll probably announce it like in a couple of days or something. No, by morning, Biden inched ahead. Now, maybe there is some screwy business behind the scenes going on. Trump's probably going to challenge it in court, but it's not like the mail-in ballots really made Joe Biden go substantially past Donald Trump either. He's scraping by Donald Trump in these states by like fractions of a percent. Now, they've already called Wisconsin. That went to Joe Biden, okay? And he was ahead by like 21,000 votes, and it was at 99%, so there's no way Trump was going to catch up. But there's still, I think, it only like, there still are like 95 in Michigan. So, my theory, if Biden picked off Wisconsin and Michigan, he's going to win, could be correct. However, there's still yet, by my math, a path for Donald Trump. Long shot, but there's a path. Trump has to run the table on everything left if you take off Michigan and Wisconsin. And what do I mean by that? Well, the problem is one of those states, they're leaning toward Biden, but they're nearly neck and neck. I believe Biden is at like 49.2%, unless that's changed since I've been making this video. Trump was at like 48.6%. That's in Nevada. And Nevada went to Clinton the last time around. Furthermore than that, you're trying to pick a state off and flip it from blue to red that's bordering California. Blue, 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 son. Blue, blue, blue. And furthermore than that, it was blue last time, and you lost the neighbor to it, Arizona. You lost it. You lost Arizona. Arizona hasn't gone to a Democrat since Clinton. So you lost Arizona, which had more electoral votes than Nevada. So if you had had Arizona already, you wouldn't even need to try to flip Nevada. But you lost Arizona. You lost Arizona, and gee, I wonder why. Maybe because you were completely disrespecting John McCain. Regardless of what your opinion of McCain is, you probably bothered some people with that. So you've lost Arizona. Now you're neck and neck in Nevada. But the only way you're going to win is to win Alaska, hold the lead in Pennsylvania, and win it. And they're only at about 60 to 70% reporting, so who the hell knows. That was blue before 2016 as well, just like Wisconsin, just like Michigan. So that could be flipped right back to Joe Biden by the end of this as well. But Trump has to hold the lead in Pennsylvania, win that Alaska, North Carolina, and Georgia at this point, and then bypass Joe Biden and win Nevada. Now, if he can do that, I think doing the math, he scrapes past the 270 point. However, on the track that we're going down right now, giving Pennsylvania to Trump, giving Alaska to Trump, giving Georgia and North Carolina to Trump, and giving Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan to Joe Biden, by the last time I checked, you're looking at 270 for Joe Biden, 267 for Donald Trump. Donald Trump 3 electoral votes away from 270. Razor thin. And what the hell does that say for Joe Biden when all of these polls were telling us how Biden should be way better than Clinton was? Turns out, it's as he is projected right now, assuming he can't get Pennsylvania, Georgia, or North Carolina back, he's only going to win by meeting the bare minimum. You have to get to 270 to win. He's not even going to make it a single electoral vote past 270. And he's running against a president who has the pandemic to deal with, all these other scandals going on to deal with, and didn't even run as good of a campaign as he ran last time around. And that's all you could beat him by? Oh, and don't blame it on third parties, because for fuck's sake, the Libertarian Party didn't even reach 2% from what I've seen right now, and Howie Hawkins didn't even reach half a damn percent. You could combine them, and they don't even reach the 5% I was hoping Joe Jorgensen could get, so you can kiss my fucking ass if you're going to blame it on third parties why you couldn't make it over 270, Biden. No, it's because you're a terrible fucking candidate. You're a terrible candidate. Kamala Harris is a terrible candidate. You're a terrible candidate. And if you do win, you're going to be terrible leaders. Not like Trump would have been much better. Again, put a gun to my head and I had to choose between the two, I'd take Trump. But I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Joe Jorgensen. Because I'm tired of Democrats and Republicans. And Trump was not the outsider he would be. So that being said, again, you couldn't beat Trump, but just by barely making it to the goal line. I think that is a reflection of Joe Biden's health, if I've ever seen one. Mental health, the whole 9 yards. Joe Biden is the tired old dog that is ready to be taken out, to the woodshed and put down like Old Yeller. Because that dog is so tired. He's running the race and can just barely make it to the goal line. How? Because the guy chasing you, who's going to be right on your ass the minute you make it to the goal line, has been weighed down dramatically. And all of these lovely polls that we're supposed to listen to were telling us that Joe Biden should have easily probably broken the 300 electoral vote count, right? Turns out these polls were fucking wrong again. And that's why I don't want to listen to them anymore. These people seem to either be full of shit or don't know shit. So why the hell am I going to listen to them anymore? I don't think I want to. But nonetheless, not keep this video going on forever. What's going to be the outcome? They've already said they're going to challenge it in court. Trump is, right? If Biden pulls off as he's anticipated and Trump can't flip Nevada, take Alaska, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. If Trump can do that, I don't think he's going to challenge a damn thing because he'll win. But as it stands right now, if Biden keeps Nevada, takes Wisconsin, takes Michigan, Trump will challenge it. What is going to end up happening here? I don't know. I really don't. Best case scenario is the Supreme Court, even though I don't think that Joe Biden or Donald Trump winning is any kind of way a best case scenario. But best case scenario for our country having some kind of fucking peace is the Supreme Court saying just let it go. You're still probably going to have riots of some sort or civil unrest because the right-wingers and the Trump voters are going to be pissed. Which I'm going to plan to do a video talking about what's coming down the line there. I'll be doing a separate video on that because some people might not even made it this far. So, and I've actually got a good bit to say on that. So rather than bury it in this video, I'm going to make another one on that. But they're probably going to be pissed. They might take to the streets if it goes to Biden and the Supreme Court rules to let it stay on Biden's half. But if Trump challenges it and gets a bunch of mail-in ballots thrown out and somehow or another it reverts back to him, can you imagine what the riots and protests are going to look like? I don't even want to think about it. I've already seen what's been going on in the world around us. I don't want to think about it. I really do not want to think about what that could look like because that I'm telling you, we're teetering on the edge of a damn civil war here. We really are. And that could very well be the shot at Fort Sumter. That could very well spark this whole damn Civil War mess off because I want you to think about it. So give this to you as well. Last night on Big Talk Little Talk, and this is by no means no disrespect to Israel for his idea of infiltrating the Republican Party and using the Republican Party as the new lefty platform since you can't get the Democrat Party. Understand what you're going to be looking at. And again, I'm not saying this to throw shade at Israel, but if they get this election after Biden if he takes Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and somehow the courts flip it and toss out a bunch of votes and give it back to Donald Trump, yes, even though we could point to Democrats rigging primaries, you literally have appointed a ton of right-wing judges. You ram through a Supreme Court justice at the last minute, and if it goes to the Supreme Court, we all know what that would probably vote. Understand what the Republican Party will have been responsible for doing. Even though, again, I support the Electoral College, this is what it's going to look like for the Republican Party as a whole. In 2000, they lost the popular vote and stole the election by saying, nope, it depends on the Electoral College because that's constitutional. And that was only a small difference in popular vote compared to what happened in 2016, when the Republican won the Electoral College again, but lost the popular vote by a much bigger margin than they did in 2000. So that's twice the Republican was able to win by using the Electoral College to their benefit, even though they couldn't win over the majority of the people in the country, or at least a plurality. They couldn't get the popular vote, but they were able to snag the Electoral College and go, yeah, there's less people in the country that want us to win, but fuck you. The Constitution's on our side. And then they can't get the Electoral College or the popular vote, so they take it to court any fucking way and get a right-wing justice to toss out ballots and give the election back to the Republicans. Say, nope, taking that away, he won. The fuck? Really? This party is going to look like the biggest bunch of fucking cheaters on God's green earth. If they can succeed at getting this done, I don't believe there's a swing voter with half a brain who's going to go vote for Republicans, especially for the president in 2024. They'd get their asses handed to them. The only way they could avoid getting their asses handed to them in 2024. If they could do that and screw 3 elections, in my opinion, or whatever, and somehow get their candidate to win with some tricky lawyer up shit, the only way would be that they would have to improve the middle class dramatically. And remember, this is all going to have to come under Trump, by the way. He didn't get it done in 4 years. He's still going to have to contend with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in the House, and might not even have as strong of a grip on the Senate, might even lose the Senate, might keep the Senate, but what the fuck ever. If he loses the Senate, there's damn sure no way in hell he's going to get this crap done. Okay, because the Democrats are going to know they could take 2024 for the presidency for sure, and they'd gridlock the hell out of him. But, hypothetically speaking, best case scenario for Trump is he gets what he's had for 2 years. And they would have to get, like, health care, and the middle class would have to be booming, the economy would have to be great, and guess what? You're still going to be dealing with COVID. There's just no way. There's no way Trump could accomplish that, right? So that's going to be the only way. So what are you going to have as a party? if you can take the election back by tossing out only a few thousand or a few 100,000 mail-in ballots. Because it's not like we're talking about millions, really, at least from what I can tell right now, of mail-in ballots that swung Michigan and Wisconsin, right? It's like it's literally like a few tens to maybe 100,000 or something. I mean, again, he's only ahead by like fractions of a percent. It was that razor thin. You're just gonna toss him out and say, "Well, take this away," and I won. That's gonna torpedo the Republican Party for a lot of people because it looks like they just moved the damn goalpost to keep winning. And again, the Democrat Party does the same shit in the primaries. We've seen that. But that's not going to get the exposure that the Republican Party is going to get. Why? Because the mainstream media is actually going to cover that one. You know, CNN and MSNBC, they did a good job when that scandal came out on the Democrat primaries at hiding that shit. It's only channels like mine and others who will really talk about it. Fox News, but that's about it. But the Republicans keep doing this. That's going to be talked about to no end. So get ready for it. It's going to happen. And then people are going to go, really? What the hell is our elections for anymore? They just toss ballots out. They discard the popular vote. What the hell? No, you know what? We're done with the Republican Party. And they either won't go vote Republican. That means there's going to be nothing but hardcore Republican base who would vote Republican. Swing voters would either just stay at home and go vote or go vote Democrat. Probably end up voting Democrat or something, right? You're almost guaranteed a loss, in my opinion. So, man. The red mirage combined with the brown wave makes for a hell of a shit show, in my opinion. So, if I may give some advice to all of you folks out there, whatever you do to cope with stress, I would suggest you do that for a little bit of time because it's ugly. It's ugly out there. And if you're taking politics seriously, I wouldn't sit back and just stress myself, honestly. I've kind of more or less, I look at it, and it's scary, it's disturbing, but I've kind of more or less just reached the point where it's like, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I could sit around and just worry about it, you know, give myself gray hair worrying about it. Or I could just come to terms with the fact something's going to happen. It's going to be bad. It's going to be nasty. It's going to stink really bad because it's a big old brown wave. And I can sit here with a beer, while the brown wave comes in and try to keep my head above water. And when the riots and the protests and the civil unrest come and people don't get their head out of their ass and we wind up in a damn civil war in this country, I've just been stockpiling on ammunition so I can protect myself and my home in the meantime. And at the rate we're going, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. So before I wind up possibly being put into a violent civil war situation where I'm having to fend for my life and my home, because that's the path we're headed down, in my opinion, if this crap continues, hell, I might as well enjoy some good moments before we get there. Why the hell not? Why would I want to live in misery this way, only to possibly have to live in misery because our country completely goes to hell in a handbasket? That doesn't seem like a good way to go out, so enjoy yourself now. That's kind of more or less my take on this, because if that swings back to Trump through the courts, there will be looting and riot. Hey, and I hope to God I'm wrong. I'll end it on this. I hope to the almighty God that it doesn't happen. But are you kidding me? There's already protests starting because they thought Trump was going to win last night, the same way I was for a while. And now if it looks like Biden wins and the courts take it away from Biden and give it back to Trump, it will be an absolute nightmare for us as a country. Regardless of what you think about Biden or Trump, understand if that happens, I think we're going to be far worse off, because there will be absolute chaos in the country. You know. So, that being said, I guess we'll just have to see what happens, huh?